Hello geeks, how are you doing today? Welcome to the channel, and topic of this particular video is how to display dynamic contents or list in stateless and stateful widgets. So let's understand what is meant by dynamic contents first. Here I have created a very basic My App which is loaded when my Flutter application is running over here, and it uses Material app and loads list display page. Here is my list display page, which is also a stateless widget. It returns a scaffold with app bar and body. So as of now, this body just contains only one text. What if I want to add multiple text? We will use something like column, okay, which can take children, which can take multiple widgets, where I can say multiple things like new, try to, or maybe try 3. Let me just go ahead and do a hot reload. You can see this is displayed over here. But in real world, this is not what we want. Most of the time, the display in our body will be result of some user actions, which means the content should be generated dynamically. So how to generate dynamic content over here? We don't want just static content. So let me just get rid of this and see how we can generate dynamic contents. For example, let me create a list of a string over here. Let's say L items, and let me create an array which says, let's say try 1, I'll say try 2, I'll also say try 3, and I'll say try n. So this is what I want to display. I want body to act in such a way that it iterates through this list and display whatever is there in the list. To achieve that, we'll have to create something called ListView Builder. In this, the item builder is the function which displays the items in the list, but we can do many more things. First of all, we need to declare item count. So item count is easy. We know that item count will be L items dot length will be item count, number of items that will be displayed. Okay, an item builder takes a function which contains a build context ctxt, and it takes a int index. Okay, so this particular function is the place where we actually build the context. Since nothing is being displayed at this point of time, nothing will be displaying over here. So I can actually safely write return new text, and I'll say L items index. And if you do a hot reload, you see that all these items are being displayed. If I add try 4 later on, we don't need to change any code, and this try 4 is also displayed over here. The list view builder may take care of some aspect of it, but still you want more things in your body. In that case, you'd still like to include things into your column. So which will take children widget, and I'll say new text header, and I can say my list view dot builder. But my list view will not work over here in column, because if I try to do a hot reload, things will fail because it is constrained by the column length. So to achieve that, we will have to use another widget called expanded. In the expanded child, we can use list view easily. So let me go ahead and do the list view over here, and let me do some alignment. And if I go ahead and do the hot reload, you can see that things are now displaying fine. So far so good. Now I want a text field over here. Okay, something like a to-do list. Okay, where I write some text and that will be added instead of this static text over here. So what I need to do is to create a text field first. Let me create a text field. This is my text field. Let me go ahead and do the hot reload. Okay, FIELD, sorry. Okay, now you can see there is a text field displayed over here. I can write some text over here. So far so good. Now we should decorate it, right? So we can create a decoration and write some hint text. So I can write new input decoration dot collapsed hint text. I'll say please enter something. Okay, I go ahead and do the hot reload. You can see that please enter something is displayed. If I write something, this goes. If there is nothing, it will display please enter something. There is a handler called onSubmitted which takes a function and returns a text that was entered onto the text field, and I can just print it over here to see what is the text equal to $text. Okay, let me go ahead and do a hot reload, and if I say something, let's say 2132, you can see that text is printed over here. Okay, that text come. Now that's not it. I want that as soon as the text is submitted, this text should go out. For that I need what we call that text editing controller. So we'll have final text editing controller ECTRL equal to new text editing controller. Okay, so we will be using this ECTRL in the text field. So we'll say controller as eController. Okay, once I am using eController, I have access to this text controller, and I can, after printing, I say eController dot clear. So I should be able to clear it. Let me go ahead and do the hot reload, and if I am printing something, it's clearing it after I press enter. Now so far so good, but I want that these items should be replaced by whatever I am entering. For that, let me just go ahead and create an empty string list. So I'll creating an array which is empty. Okay, and let me comment it. I want this item to be added as in when the somebody press enter. So what I will do, I'll add the text over here, but nothing is displayed because we are using a stateless widget, and stateless widget doesn't redraw itself unless we do a hot reload. And even if we do hot reload, nothing is displayed. Things will change if I move this list to outside. Okay, now let me say I am entering something over here, 1 2 3, and let me do a hot reload. You'll see that these three things are displayed now. But to be able to display it as it is and make sure the widget is actually redraws itself, we'll have to use what we call as stateful widget. So to convert this widget into a stateful widget, we'll create again the class listDisplay extends stateful widget. We'll override the create state function which returns the state create state, and we'll just use the lambda and we'll say new LD. I'll change this as LD, and this thing will be a state argument with listDisplay. Now this widget is capable of redrawing itself because it's a stateful widget, and to redraw I need to just do one thing. Okay, here if I'm changing my widgets from stateless to stateful, I need to reload. Okay, now to make sure this things actually redraws itself, after clearing I need to call setState. SetState triggers the current widget to redraw itself. Okay, let me go ahead and do the hot reload. I'll say first, you can see first. I'll say second, you can see second. I say third. Similarly, you can see everything being added over here. So the idea behind this particular video is to get you a feeling of how you can display things dynamically in both stateful as well as in a stateless widget. I hope I was able to explain it properly. If you have any queries or questions, please do write in the comment section. Please do like the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks a lot. Thanks for watching. Thank you.